Hi, welcome. Doing another drawing stream today. And I put out a little poll on the Tumblr to see what sort of challenges I should do today. I got, oh, cool. Thank you, Arple. I got, Just Draw, In Stars and Time fan art, and, redrawing old art. The second one, I didn't give myself enough time to go and dig things up. I actually think I might make that like its own, like that's kind of the whole stream type of stream, because I did manage to track down an old Pokemon comic I made when I was 6, and I've always kind of wanted to like take a crack at making it into like a full comic page. So I'll see if I can set that up at a later date. But the runner-up after those two was characters as magical girls and fusions. So I think I'm going to do those three things. Challenge, and then suggestions, and then challenge, sandwich like that. I believe it is just me today. Hopefully I can carry a conversation with myself. Let's see. I made a special little, I made a list of all of the, like, iconic, fun characters I could think of. And there's 151 of them, like Pokemon. And I'm going to roll a random die. And maybe I should just do some warm-up Sifrins, just get my head in the game. Let me... Where's the rabbit? I need to block off where the rabbit is. Up a little. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome to the max. Random Sifrins. Ba 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 ba. Random Sifrins. Oh my goodness gracious. I have a friend who's graduating this Friday. I'm extremely proud of her. She went back to finish her associate's degree and has been just like super duper stressed trying to keep up with that and a job and whatnot. Mildly ironic that I'm writing a college AU at the same time, but you know, she was doing online classes. But it was cool because I think she majored in something along the lines of nutrition, and so like her classes would be like make kanafe, or just like make like some dish from some place, and then she would have to like search all over to find a market that carried these like highly specific ingredients. And she never did make kanafe, which I'm very butthurt about, because that is one of those things that I saw in a TikTok and I said, I will eat that, or else I will die an empty individual. It's like phyllo dough, but it's like it's shredded phyllo dough with a sweet cheese inside, drizzled with sweet syrup and pistachio dust. And it's like, oh, this is not a food, this is a sex toy designed for me and my mouth. Pure food porn. But I still haven't had the chance to make it because it's like specialty ingredients, and God knows I don't want to cook anything. But yes, we're very proud of her, and she bought the very expensive cap and gown and is going to do the whole walk across the stage, which is why I'm not doing a Thursday stream, because if I try and stream before a social gathering, I will die in the brain. This is an angel Sifrin. He finally gained his wings. I just drew him at an angle, so I decided he should be flying. Ooh, I need to draw Blorbo. I need to draw a frickin' character sheet and a frickin' master post page. Then I'm like, then I have to think of like poses. I used to be able to draw poses. I was looking through like an old college sketchbook to be like, oh, maybe I can draw some of this, and getting like so angry because, oh no, I was actually like way better at drawing back then. Like, oh no, I was actually practicing and drawing people not just from the frickin' waist up. It's actually knew how to draw legs. Hi, it's your man Jack. Or I suppose just Jack. I could just say Jack instead of the full thing every time. Welcome. I'm doing a warm-up blorbo from my little college AU that I'm very excited about, especially because I just discovered a few new fun ways to torment them. And I'm very stoked on that. Get the loop eyes. Longer on the inside top, longer on the outside bottom. Boop, 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 boop. We'll just give them a real standard. Boop. I'm saying something. Look at me. Blah, blah, blah. Theater kid. Where's my little lasso tool? Oh my goodness. Is anything else going on with me? This is the first time I've had to hold a conversation without having, like, a game present to give me dialogue to work with. I could just talk about this friggin'... It's not giving me a lasso tool with which to move the eyes. I'll do it the old-fashioned way. I could just talk about the new AU. The problem is I don't want to spoil things because I'm very excited. I want people to feel like how I felt when I played that Sans Undertale dating game. And I feel like if you know which, apparently there are I've been told there are multiple, but I feel as though if you know which one I'm talking about, I might have done a big spoiler. Yay, Blorbos! Exactly. Oh, for the love of... Been going with the cowlick bangs recently because they're my precious little guy pie, and I love that stupid little... Makes me think of like a posh kid at a private school. Little swoopy bangs. My dad owns a dealership. Earring. I added plot jewelry. There's one earring on their right cuff. They have one of those little, they actually have a name. Those plastic braided chokers that were like really hot in the 90s and then made a comeback like everything from the 90s recently. And then a star-shaped gem, which I made, yeah, spoilers are cute. I made the decision to give them the star-shaped gem based on plot reasons before realizing, oh, this is like actually a perfect like analog to the star in their chest, because this loop does not have a star in their chest. Nope, they didn't wish on a star. They had a craft accident that basically disintegrated them. But that's more of the sad backstory. We'll get there. I'm excited to play with the manic pixie dream girl trope in general. It's a trope very near and dear to my heart because I am a manic pixie dream girl, and it's infuriating because guys really do want you to just be their fucking eternal sunshine of the spotless mind. God, if I could like actually erase things and do underdrawings, this would not be so wonky. They want you to be like, I think 500 Days of Summer is like the perfect example of the bullshit that is the manic pixie dream girl, in that it's so funny because even like within the story, it's portrayed as her being like shitty because she's like, I don't really want a relationship, and then he's like, oh, but I can be so charming and Joseph Gordon-Levitt that I can basically trick her into having a real relationship with me instead of just something casual. And then of course is disappointed to find like, no, that's not what's happening here, but oh no, it's like her fault for whatever, just the way that it's like, it's got to be based on a true story because it's so deeply like, if you look at it from her perspective, he's such a like misogynist piece of shit, and I'm like, I don't think they would have accidentally written it that way if it wasn't based on real life. I think she'd be written a lot more stupid and gullible, like how all frickin' women are written on TV. 500 Days of Summer, by the way, if you're not familiar, came out, oh my god, it must have been either late 2010s or late aughts or early 2010s, and it was Zooey Deschanel and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Zooey Deschanel also is a Manic Pixie Dream Girl in, what was her show called? That Girl, which was just like, oh, it's so funny that this woman lives with a bunch of guys, I guess. I don't know. I tried to get into it like multiple times and I couldn't do it. Yeah, I'm gonna do the Manic Pixie Dream Girl trope right. Exactly. Because I've lived it. And also because I just grew up on like that type of movie was just like the shit when I was coming up. Like, I think Juno counts as Manic Pixie Dream Girl, although it's, you know, more a story about pregnancy with like some highly inaccurate bullshit about like, oh, your baby has fingernails. Not true. That and Knocked Up, just some like weird men trying to be like feminist about pregnancy and like missing the mark so hardcore that they create another sexist movie about pregnancy. And nope. There's hard to draw and think at the same time. Manic Pixie Dream Girls are meant to like save you. They're meant to take this like guy who's like, oh, I'm like sad because people don't think I'm as special as my mommy told me I was when I was a kid. Basically, is kind of like the Manic Pixie Dream Girl like takes the sad guy and like, life is actually fun. Oh my god, Dharma and Greg is a Manic Pixie Dream. Frickin' no one remembers Dharma and Greg, but that is huge Manic Pixie Dream Girl. I could say MPD. I could shorten it. Where the whole thing was that she was like a free spirit and Greg, come dancing naked in the rain with me, and he's like, oh, but I'm a businessman, I can't, whatever the fuck that show was. But that was basically the idea. It's like, oh, here is this like free-spirited woman that's going to fix me and show me that life is worth living again or whatever the fuck. And like in 500 Days of Summer, she's like, oh my god, you draw little buildings, you should be an architect. And he's like, yeah, I was gonna be an architect, but then life wore me down. And she's like, you should still do it, you're like, so this is your passion, you should do it. And he's like, wow, be my girlfriend. And she's like, no. And he's like, okay, you suck. Like, it's incredibly stupid, and it's such a like, you know, they're putting them on this pedestal. I'm also really enjoying, like, you know, because I grew up on these things, it's given me a very like specific writing style. Like, as much as like, oh my god, I'm sure Juno is fucking unwatchable at this point. I'm sure it has like zero rewatch quality in the year of our Lord 2026, because it just, oh my god, there's so much about it that is just like gonzo. But I was heavily influenced by that type of writing. Arpel says the two genders are actually short for Manic Pixie Dream Girl and businessman trust. Yes, true. Oh, plot jewelry. But that Diablo Cody writing style is very much ingrained into my brain because that was just like the hot thing of like having people talk weird. Basically in a way that like coming up with very, very clever things to say that nobody would ever come up with on the spot unless they were, you know, reading from a script. This very like overly clever sort of thing that is really burnt into my brain, and I'm just really enjoying that I get to like lean into that, and also that I get to have Loop make stupid fucking references. Like there haven't been a whole lot of them yet. In the what was it, the first chapter, I had because, and this was an accident too, when they're writing Loop writes tragedies and Sifrin writes comedies, and I didn't realize, oh, it's like the comedy and tragedy masks. Okay. But they have this line where they're like, no, we should not collaborate. God knows the critically panned FX original that we would create if we wrote together, and that is very much a me. I fucking love FX original shows so fucking much. I love dark comedies so much, but they're always like I can't. There are some that are like so dark that I just fucking can't. Like I can't handle Pamela Adlin's Better Things because just like her daughters suck so much. It's like so depressing to me. But I also love like You're the Worst and Always Sunny and God, that's like basically what FX originals do, is they just have that fucking like dark comedy where everything is horrible and over the top, and I eat that shit up. So when I think of the nexus of comedy and tragedy, that's where my brain goes. And then critically panned is just the way I talk. So there'll be a lot of that. Like I'm just really like doing a lot of self-insert in that respect. And not just self-insert, but like I think there's going to be a lot of me and now ex-bestie in there of like we bonded over Mystery Science Theater 3000. And that is 100% going to be a thing that these two do. Oh, and Rocky Horror. I already have a bit written about Loop preferring the sequel. And that's just a rabbit. It might also be Loop. Let's get into the challenges. I'm going to fuse two characters together. Boop. Be-doop. All right. Character roulette. Pull up the random number generator. Give me one from 151. Okay. First character, 53. That's Persian in the Pokedex. What is it here? Steven Universe. And 16. Shrek. All right. Yeah, sure, man. Yeah. Arpel says, TBH, the best art comes inspired directly from real life, so it checks out. Yeah, I mean, once again, I know Manic Pixie Dream Girl from experience, and like a lot of it is pulled from art and tropes and whatnot, and so I really enjoy playing with the tropes, and I'm really going to... The problem with this story is there are things that happen later that completely reshape what the story is. Sorry, I'm pulling up reference images real quick. That I can't say or like ruin the whole thing. It's not necessarily a big twist as much as like we have not gotten into the like we will be in setup for longer than you think we will be in setup, and so kind of going into like future shit is difficult in that respect. Steven Universe. Do I need a Shrek? I have a Shrek on my wall that I could just reference. It's one of those, I don't know how to pronounce Japanese words. It's like a bishonen, no. It's like when you have the guy character, but they're like really like cuted out and like blushy and stuff. A heart-shaped pin of Shrek like that. Ooh, let's do Steven classic. Give me a classic Steven. And then let's see if they'll let me pull it into... No, I'll just pull it up on my phone. I feel like it's going to be too much hassle to try and bring it into Magma. Steven Universe. I know this guy. This little fella is very friend-shaped. So is Shrek. They've got a similar shape. I believe this will work. This will work swimmingly. Boop. But it's all I want to talk about because it's all that's on my mind. Basically, there will be a point where the Manic Pixie sheen will... Well, I mean, it's gotta have these. I think that's fair. I think that's fair that it should have these, probably. Maybe they're made out of hair? I mean, I'm just drawing Steven as an ogre, I feel. I feel that is probably what this is. But we're going to see Siffrin putting Loop on a pedestal for, like, a while. And I am enjoying making Siffrin so fucking pathetic. It's really enjoyable to me. But yeah. Oh my god, you guys, Deltarune. I won't talk in length about Deltarune because I know I haven't finished chapter 4. So I don't want to be spoiling things for people. But hell yeah, pathetic Siffrin. The short-ass Shrek vest. I love Shrek. Guys, I fucking love Shrek. I was the perfect fucking age when Shrek came out that it was just like, oh my god, it's a cartoon, but he says ass. Can you even imagine? No, we're starting over. I hate this. I'm not a fan of this. This is not friend-shaped. Let's go with an eyeball out approach. Yeah. I also love Steven Universe. I get so... I've probably talked about this on my Tumblr. Because I've lived it multiple fucking times. When a fandom is primarily queer and autistic, the internet bullies them so much that the fandom then gets defined as cringe. And then people, like, become ashamed of it. And I've seen the pattern because I am an old school Invader Zim fan. Now and forever. I can and have given so much fucking trivia about it because I have so much trivia in my brain. I believe that it is a masterpiece and that Yonan Vasquez is just kind of a homophobic shitbag, but still brilliant. All right, this is going somewhere. This is something. Yeah, I'm just making an ogre, Steven. We'll go with that. Yeah, I mean, the Steven Universe fandom, like, of course was overwhelmingly queer, and so, of course, got, like, labeled as cringe. I honestly don't know if I wasn't huge online with this one, or online at all with this one, I think. But I did hear there was some discourse, so maybe there was something that I missed. Scary Minecraft ambiance during fandoms being considered cringe. The past haunts me. It's so right. Like, there's also an element of, like, when people overwhelmingly get into a thing when they are a teenager, and so what they're looking back on is the fact that, like, they are cringe, and so they extend it to, like, oh, this fandom was cringe, and it's like, no, that's just you. Like, that's just how all of us feel when we remember shit that we did when we were teenagers. Like, that's a pretty universal sort of thing that has nothing to do with. I am really circling around it, but it's fucking Homestuck. I get so deliriously angry about the way people treat Homestuck. Like even people who like it will be like, oh, I see you, I see what you are. Like, yes, an enormous Homestuck fan. I named myself Roxy after a Homestuck character. I hold no shame in that. She fucking rules. Like, actively rules. Oh, maybe I give him horrible Shrek teeth. I'll pull up a Shrek reference in a second. Not give him soulless eyes. I fucking love Homestuck. It's like so well written. Oh god, Twink Homestuck lore. Yes! I still need to catch up on Homestuck 2. My Minecraft house is burning down! Oh no! Oh no, oh no! Roxy is amazing. It literally came about because we had these like weekly meetups in town, which I miss dearly. It's like a mini convention in a park, like every week, and hence why I attribute Homestuck with how I made basically all of my friends, because those are the people that got me into attending conventions, and then I met more friends at conventions, mainly also through Homestuck, but then later through other stuff. Yeah, I owe Andrew Hussey like a lot of my happiness, truly. But I mean, it's so well written. Like, I also have the thing of, like, I got into it in my early 20s, so, like, all past things are cringe, but I didn't have the thing of, like, I associate this with being a teenager, and, like, I trust more that I had good taste in my 20s than I, you know, go back and watch things I liked as a teenager, and I'm like, oh, bud. Oh, no, bud, not this, though. Drawn together, but I know you know better, come on. This is the most wonky Steven. I'm in love with him. But Homestuck is incredibly well written. It's so wordy. It's so wordy. It also has that sort of, like, not Diablo Cody, but, like, I guess I never read Infinite Jest, but I had a friend who was super into Infinite Jest and was like, yeah, this is heavily inspired by Infinite Jest. I'm like, I'll take your word for it. Apparently, you're not supposed to trust a dude who says his favorite book is Infinite Jest. Those two things are what I know about it. That what is 10 years even? Jack says, I got into Homestuck a few months before the Act 7 finale, so I missed a lot of fandom events. Damn. Yeah, it didn't really trail off after it ended. It was very much like the fandom was already under fire, and it came to a pretty abrupt end. And Arpel says, oh, Sam, I think I got into it in like 2015 or 2016. Man, what is 10 years even? Yeah, did it start in, did it start in 2009? I think it started in 2009. I got into it in 2011 and then started cosplaying in 2012. 2016 was different. I got into Homestuck right before Undertale was released and played it on release day. Rough few years. Oh man, I tried to play Undertale on my own, and I'm very bad at video games. And so I just like didn't. I put it down and never came back. And then I watched the Game Grumps play it, and I was like, Oh, I wish I had tried harder to play this on my own because it would have been such a better experience. Uh, if I was not having to listen to Dan and Aaron's interpretation of the character. I liked the voices they chose. I'm not going to. I have Game Grumps feelings lately and all the time. They're very sexist, but it got kind of bad recently, and I got the ick really hardcore. So, people, men. Homestuck was fun. I met my friends because we got into doing panels. This is apparently not a universal phenomenon. I've heard that apparently they don't really do this on the East Coast, but this is information from like a decade ago, so goodness knows. But at least on the West Coast, probably because of our proximity to LA, and just it's very like artsy fartsy over here for the in the bigger cities. Because like you'll go to a convention and they'll have panels where like celebrities come and they do like a Q&A about their shows, right? You go and see the Supernatural boys tell you about all the shenanigans that happen behind the scenes and whatnot. And all right, let's pull up Shrek now. And so what we do is we do that, but with the fictional characters. So we would do an Ask panel, but it's like all of the Homestuck characters. And it's such a specific improv skill to be like in character that like people who do princess businesses at kids' birthday parties, Disney character actors, and panels are like the only ones that I know of. It is such a hyper specific skill set, but it's so fun. A Homestuck veteran, yes. I kind of wish I was there since the beginning. I got into Midnight Crew, the comic before it, in like 2008, and if I hadn't completely forgotten that it existed, I would have been like there from the start, but I hold no regrets. So we would do these panels, and I played primarily Roxy because I just am her, so I didn't have to think too hard. There were times where I tried to do Arania, and one time I did Terezi that was really disastrous. But it required more. Arania just did not get enough screen time for me to get a handle on her character, and so I really struggled with that, especially because she's like, I've discovered I just don't want to fucking play a character who doesn't joke and gaff and goof, because I feel so stifled and I just want to make jokes and be the funny person. And if I can't do that, I'm useless in this panel environment. You have wasted me. So I was quite often Roxy, and we did those all the time and made lots of friends that way. And there's videos online that I won't dox myself with, but me and my friend were going through them recently, and I had completely forgotten the really horrible thing that I said as Terezi, and now I remember it, and I shan't repeat it. But my brain deleted that memory, and I put it back in, and I'm so mad, and here I am strengthening it now. God, looking at this stupid vest now. What is this? What are you wearing, Shrek? Is this armor? What is this? This is nothing. I described Overkill AU to someone as if Homestuck only had like 1,000 readers, because it literally it is of equal quality, I think, and it's very much a nearly identical format, except it's still interactive, where Homestuck at some point became no longer interactive because it was just too much to keep up with. Get his little pot belly and skirt, and I gotta change the nose. Let's get up in there. Is it even Steven Universe without the nose? No, we can figure this out. Yeah. Love to see it. Yeah. Shrek knows. Yeah. Guys, I love Homestuck. I love it so deeply. The Shrekification of the universe. Harp will replace the memory with Shrek. I will. I will only ever think of Shrek and not horrific things I said during a PG-13 panel. No, I got some decent pot shots in every now and again. I did. The more I talk about these panels, the more I'm gonna dox myself because they are posted online. Just like I was also considering being like, let's go through my DeviantArt, and then I'm like, I can't. That's too close a connection. I can't do it. Even though DeviantArt Twink was onto some shit. There's a lot of highlighters being used as to color everything, and I'm extremely into it. And a lot of South Park slash. Just so much Tweak and Craig. Shrek has completely separated teeth. Yes, good. Good. I am also very deep in the paint on Undertale. Maybe I should go on a Flowey rant. That's something I could do. That's something I could do for hours. Very strong feelings about the Flower Child. Chat. Jack says, Overkill also updates just as fast, if not faster. Yeah, no, it's kind of insane how huge Homestuck was at only 7 years of creation with several years gaps of hiatus. It's like, it speaks to how like genuinely good and fun it was. Arple says, I once heard Overkill described as that Undertale Tumblr fandom phenomenon circa 2016 when everyone was making AUs except for Sans only, and it really checks out. Yes, absolutely. The artist that did the Error and Genos was like so, not that like the other ones weren't incredibly talented, but just the sheer amount of like comics and writing and AUs that they were putting out was just so like incredible. And then there's this one artist I found. English is their second language on top of Hi Nascurlydom. I'm talking about Undertale Sans AUs. There's one, oh fuck, I don't know what it's called, but there's one AU and it's hard to follow because it's already a very convoluted AU, and then English is their second language, so it's really hard to follow, but they made full animated movies that you can find on YouTube of their fucking AU. And I remember just like spending a whole day just being like, I can't, there's clearly lore here that I needed to have known ahead of time, but oh my god, this is so fucking incredible that somebody made this for an Undertale AU. What the fuck? And I love that shit. Let's get a good Shreky green, a little more yellow. Yes, good. This is the worst. This is the dumbest shit. I hate this. Why have you done this to me? This is fucking awful. Let's see. Brown for the vest. I was just about to go on an Undertale rant. No! No, I did it again because I used the wrong button. Haha! Haha! Hi, Nascurlydom. Yes, for real, I have Flowey feelings, especially as they pertain to Sans and how everybody fucking loves Sans Undertale, but oh, Flowey is so bad. Got fucking Alphys to unalive herself. Whatever. Okay, first off, he's a child. Not technically. If I want to ship him with Papyrus, I have to accept I have to accept that he was can be tried as an adult. My traumatized little flower. So this is Steven Shrekiverse. I hate it. I hate looking at it. Oh god. Oh no. Okay, taking a pause from challenges, I'll take suggestions real quick. If anybody has a suggestion of something to draw. Hi, Steven Shrekiverse. I love you, Steven Shrekiverse. Mwah! Mwah! Oh, it's terrible. I vote Homestuck. Aww! I could do a little Homestuck. Any specific characters? Or scenes or something? I could try and redraw my favorite panel. If I even surely I remember what the characters look like. Steven to Sans theory, but is human Shrek to Prince Charming. I don't think I follow. Steven to Sans theory, but is human Shrek to Prince Charming. I can't wrap my head around it. I must draw Dave Strider. Steven after not surviving Sans. Shrek after not surviving? Under Shrek. Oh no, I've tasked myself with drawing hands. What have I done? Steven, Shrekin, please. I'm in the middle of something. Baby, go take a nap. Baby, go play iPad. Wanna go play iPad? Okay. I can't turn smoothing on any higher or it will lag. Oh no, I'm Squidward. I get deep feelings about Flowey. I truly, truly do. I do think it's so funny that people have such a hatred for Flowey, because Flowey is literally meant to be... Do we want to give him a fourth finger? I'll give him a fourth finger. A reflection of the self. Like, Flowey is literally supposed to be a representation of the player. Like, they got bored of the game, so they played over and over again to see what would happen. They should have taken a hands-out approach, because I think that's far too high up. Like, literally, you could attribute, I think, Jungian stuff to, like, all the characters. And guys, I did such a deep dive on this game in 2020. If you look at it through, like, a tale of growing up, like, each character, like, represents a different age range. Like, you start essentially in the womb underground with the mother character. You first meet the baby. The first thing, it's not that people hate Flowey, it's just that they think he's like evil or whatever, or unforgivable, or he just doesn't get as much credit for shit as Sans does. I think he gets written off as like evil, and it's just so ironic, because like that's supposed to be you, right? Like, you know that you're supposed to be like, it's holding up a mirror to your bullshit. You know that, right? This is what hands do, right? More or less. But, you know, you meet the baby, and then you meet the mama, and then you get out, and like Sans and Papyrus are very much, they have their little like essentially performance that they do for you. Not essentially, canonical, that they're sort of being silly for your benefit. And because it's fun. And they are very much like the kid era, like the little kid area. And then you get to Undyne, and she's like very much like a brooding teenager, like angry at the world. And then you get to Alphys, and she's very much like early 20s, just kind of like smart, has a handle on things, knows what she likes, but is like overconfident. Not like her anxiety overconfident, but like Alphys is a character I feel like people don't talk a lot about, like struggles with empathy. She will do these things for her own purposes without really thinking of the consequences for other people. Vis-a-vis, is Undertale old enough that I can do spoilers? She like has a crush on her boss, and she says, I know how to make him notice me. I will try to bring his dead child back to life. Is the most batshit because she just doesn't like, I think she lacks some of the like empathetic capabilities to realize like why that is fucked up. And she, you know, she sort of does that with Frisk, of like putting Frisk in this like fake danger to try and like seem really cool and confident, and just not really thinking of the consequences of that, like kind of like manipulative in a way that she doesn't realize isn't okay. I think it's okay that Flowey hates her. I think they're allowed that. But and then you get to Mettaton is very much the like mid to late 20s of like, oh, I know who I am now and I'm living in my truth. They don't have necks, do they? No, Homestucks don't have necks. At least in the panel I'm drawing. And then of course you get to Asgore, and he is the tired adult with so many regrets. And I just think that's quite fascinating, is all. Undertale is well written in so many more ways than I think people realize, but also I'm like a huge writing nerd, so I dig far too deep into things. He doesn't usually have a bridge on his shades. Arple, God forbid women do anything. Just kidding. That is Alphys' whole character. Her entire character is God forbid women do anything. Jack says, very understandable how characters can hate Alphys, but I don't trust real players that fully 100% hate her. God forbid she do it. Oh, no, 100%. I love Alphys. I think she's fucking wonderful. I don't like what she did to my baby. I very much have this thing of like, I, Twink, as a person, love this character, but I, Twink, as a huge fucking Flowey stan, am like, fuck her. I have a friend who cosplays like a really, really cool Alphys, and her friend does Undyne with the thing where they put fishnets on their face and then do eyeshadow and to make like a scale effect. And it's very cool looking. And they have a little like dinosaur muzzle. It's like a full like wearing a dinosaur muzzle. Like if it's a Gaijinka, it is heavily on the dinosaur side of a Gaijinka. How does his hair do? I vaguely recall. Like this? It's shaped like a bird. Something that did bug me about Dave is his hair was clearly meant to be like pushed back away from his face, but then everybody gave him Bieber bangs. This is basically the panel I was going for. The record shirt before it broke. Nope, wrong tool. There. This is my all-time favorite Homestuck panel. It's really early on, and it's so funny because this character is all about, and you wouldn't know this from the pilot, this character is all about, like, not being emotive. Like, he was raised in a real, like, toxic masculinity environment where, like, he literally wears shades to hide emotions and how he's feeling. And it's just very like flat and never has a facial expression, right? And then he's like fucking with his, there's like a whole thing about their Silodexes, their like inventory systems, and he's fucking around with his, and like a lot of them have a thing of like when you put an item in wrong or have too many items, it will like shoot an item out of your inventory. And so he accidentally like puts an item in wrong and it shoots a katana out of his inventory, and it fucking fully stabs right through a crow that was on his windowsill. Like dead crow out the window, and then it just cuts to a wordless panel of him doing this. And it's my favorite thing because it's just like so like the biggest reaction we've seen from him thus far, and it's just a silent this face. Anyway, that's a Dave Strider. Okay, catching up on chat. Nazgirlydom says, at first I was an Asgore fan, but then I really thought about the fact that he could have used one soul to break the barrier. That's, yeah, that's some brutal shit. He's complicated. I like him for that. I definitely had like mixed feelings on that in Undertale, but I also really like, I mean, he's a king, and king characters are pretty, like, not only is the, you know, it's like a different world and things work a little bit differently, but like kings are very much like off with their head, but then like, hey, they're children, I don't know, there's levels to him. I didn't thoroughly dislike him until Deltarune, where he's like, he's so stalkery in Deltarune. It makes me deeply uncomfortable. This man will hide in the bushes to give his ex-wife flowers and just like does not take no for an answer. And I'm like, oh, okay, actually. Apparently I'm like more okay with child murder than I am stalking your ex. That's where I'm at. You can so visualize him going, oh, under his hands. And like, yeah, hiding the oh. Oh yeah, they directed him super weird for the pilot, I forgot. I also have feelings about the Homestuck pilot. Jack says, Asgore and Deltarune so strange. I'm really hoping it's a setup to addressing it instead of Stalker Bits. I do too. I have a lot of faith in Toby Fox coming through on that and having it be like pointed out. He's super good at writing and progressive and a good boy, and I trust him, especially because like he's in a position where he gets so much feedback from a large audience, and he's good at responding to that for the most part. All right, another suggestion, or if you don't have a suggestion, I could also draw a character as a magical girl. And you can suggest a character, or I can pull that from my random character list. The Homestuck pilot bugged me because it's almost like it was directed magical girl Karkat. Oh my god. Karkat is already a magical girl. All of the Homestuck characters are magical girls because they go hero mode and have their little precious special weapons and outfits. I have a suggestion from Disco Elysium. I'm not familiar with it. We played it on stream on Sunday, but that is like the maximum of my knowledge. My beef with the Homestuck pilot is I was like, oh, cool, like the director is like a fan, so they're going to come at it from like a fan perspective. I, in retrospect, believe that was a mistake. Because they're seeing it from a perspective of having already known about Homestuck instead of being like, hey, people need to be able to watch this without prior knowledge. Kim Kitsuragi, just glasses and some mustache. I'm not feeling it. Sorry. Magical Girl Karkat would be new because he never went God tier at least. I mean, I believe there is a dead, like, little hair mustache. I will pitch it to my Disco Elysium fans and see if they want to take a crack at that. I think, let me pull up a picture of Karkat. I'm gonna remember what this fool looks like. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, the Homestuck pilot, it's too much. They're trying to shove too much stuff in there that is, they're basically trying to make it a perfect, like, one-to-one to the comic, when in reality, in order to make it work in that format, you need to cut out so much of those first few acts. Like, you do actually need to leave a ton of shit on the cutting room table. I do believe part of that is rewriting or removing Syllodexes. Like, I know that there are some plot beats that come from Syllodexes, which I think is why they tried to jam them in, but if you're going to put them in, you need to give them more space to be explained, because they are such a niche coder concept, you know? Like, you need to actually give the audience time. Arple thinks about God tier kids outliving the rest and starts crying. Jack, oh no, I forgot the implications. Yeah. I don't even like to think about post-comic Homestuck in general. It bums me out. Because they're just like, they're starting a world from scratch and they're just like dumbass traumatized kids. Like, that sucks. That fucking sucks. Most of them died. Oh, Karkat. Look at your stupid face. I hate you. I love Dave Cat. It is still on my calendar the day that Dave Cat became canon, technically. It never became literal canon, but it was heavily implied, because there did reach that point where Hutzi was like, I think, afraid to make any, like, anything canon to, like, not upset people and get, like, backlash. Yes, I never read Homestuck 2, and I don't intend to. I apologize for that. I don't know where June Egbert came into play. All I know is, yes, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't want fan art. I want actual art of actual Karkat. Size. Yeah, this little shit with the messy hair. I kind of just want one of those, like, God tier I'm looking at Pose reference is what I'm doing now. Because my anatomy is garbage. Yeah, let's go with that. Blah, blah, blah. And I was talking about like 8 different things and forgot all of them at once. I do want to point out, people are all like, oh my god, Sans is like a hero because he like stands up to Chara or whatever. Sans did not stand up to Chara until everyone was already dead. And that is the only time he fucking does anything aside from, I don't know, threaten you, I guess. But Flowey, 3 separate times, gives up his life to save everyone. In Genocide Route, he literally sacrifices himself to make sure that Chara can't get a monster soul to be able to get to the human world. In Pacifist, he doesn't give up his life necessarily as much as he gives up, like, I can talk about soul stuff later of like his whole I don't have a soul thing, but like he gives up his chance to like exist in a body again, which I count for the sake of saying it's 3 times. Why could I not remember the third? Why can I not remember a third? The point is, he's far more of a hero. And he doesn't get the credit. Alright. Magical girl, magical girl, magical girl. What are some Karkat themes? He's crab themed. He's communism themed. He's angry. Everything would be grayscale because he's trying to hide the red, I guess. I guess crab theming is probably the way to go. Don't make me look up crabs. They look like spiders and I hate it. Let's do some knee highs that kind of look like... Ooh, I could do like a... What is her name from She-Ra? Scorpia? Could do kind of like a Scorpia look. Ooh, definitely like crab armor. Boom. 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 Yeah. Like little carapace. We love to see it. Flowey talks about, I don't know that I've ever seen anyone point this out. Flowey talks about like not being able to feel things because they don't have a soul. That is like a, like, I don't know, a plot point that they bring up, and the fact that like when he absorbs all of the like monsters, then he has a soul again, and then he can like think about the implications of what he's done. I simply do not believe that that is true. I don't know for having a soul or not having a soul, but I think he feels the way that he does because of trauma. Like, being, like, having muted emotions is literally a trauma response. And, oh yeah, the third time that he saved the world was when Chara wanted to, like, kill a bunch of humans so that the humans would come and go to war with monsters. Like, that is, like, Char was trying to take everybody out with a huge war and then, you know, trick their poor brother into playing along with that. There's gotta be... Do we do a chest ribbon? Ooh, that's an idea. Oh yeah, because they all have their little emblems. Got it. All right, we're in the zone. And Asriel sacrifices himself again to avoid that. I mean, not fully purposefully, just didn't fight back and then got, like, super murdered, but... Nazgurlitum says, that's why Asriel / Flowey is a goat. Literally. Yes! You get it! And it's not that I don't like Sans. I love him. He's the character I relate to most. Being, like... an older sibling with only 1 HP. I also think Flowey and Papyrus should kiss. I didn't... This development happened. There was a an Undertale alarm clock that never got finished that you can sort of look into. Let's do Poofy. Let's do Poofs. Yeah. And Papyrus gives Flowey a little red scarf to match his. There's so much of, like, Flowey just, like, adoring, like, at the very least, besties. There's so much of Flowey just, like, adoring Papyrus and being, like, it took a lot longer to get tired of him, and, like, despite... Okay, here's another fucking Flowey thing that I need people to fucking understand. Not only their first fucking loop, everybody is they if their pronouns are he, because I've been writing so much fucking Sifrin and I need to switch back and forth. Not everybody switches back and forth. On Flowey's first loop, he does everything nice. Like, he gives everyone the happiest ending that he can do. And I mean, that speaks to his personality and how much he cares. Like, I have to believe it took him a long time to get to the point of, like, what happens when I kill them. But when the only reason that Frisk can show up at all is because Flowey let time move forward enough for Frisk to be able to fall. Which means, I mean, you know, he's waiting to be able to claim the human soul so that he can, like, go topside, right? But I think if that was really true, he wouldn't have bothered keeping everyone alive and happy. Jack says, what I miss, I got turkey stroganoff. Delicious. I'm bitching about Flowey and how much I love him. Arpel says, didn't the alarm clock dialogue also indicate that Flowey was the only one at the cast that knew Papyrus's favorite food? And Jack says, dinosaur egg oatmeal. Yeah, that wasn't the alarm clock. That was a Q&A where he said, send in your questions and the characters will answer. Examples of questions include, what is Papyrus's favorite food? And so, like, of course, a bunch of people just sent in, what is Papyrus's favorite food? And so he fucking had all of the characters just answer what they thought Papyrus's favorite food was, and then at the end of all of it, the only one who, like, actually knew the answer, including Papyrus himself, was Flowey. Because, like, of course. But if Flowey just wanted to use a human soul to escape to the surface, I don't think he would bother keeping everyone alive and happy. Like, he specifically chooses to not reveal himself to anyone, to just, like, I think maybe he wanted to just sort of get everyone topside, at least subconsciously. What do we do for the collar? How about just a nice little, what are these called? A Peter Pan collar. But the only person that he chooses to talk to is Papyrus, who I like to headcanon gave him his name because that's a very Papyrus thing to do. I don't know that there's any real canon evidence for that, but it feels very in character. But yeah, and the alarm clock gave him a little scarf, and Flowey was all, like, tsundere about it. Ooh, let's go fingerless gloves. Love me some fingerless gloves. Brush milestone, 600 strokes. Awesome. That's meaningless. To me personally. It should have a skirt, huh? It's a magical girl. It should have a skirt. How about another... How about just another little crab leg sucker? Yeah. 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 I do love the ship naming conventions in Undertale, that they're all just like little punny things. That one is called Nectar. Stupid. I love it. Arpel says, the kind of shit you do when stuck in a time loop, learning the favorite foods of people around you. Source, it's cutes. They're counting your strokes. Magma board JOI. I also, of course, did the, like, obligatory WD Gaster deep dive. I did find at the end of it, once I finally dug in, that for the most part, the Gaster Easter eggs were literally just that, like, Toby Fox had extra time. Like, he finished everything that he needed to do and then had extra time before the game was launched and decided to just put in a bunch of shit, and that it is more or less a exist to be a plot band-aid for Sansa's OP superpowers. That the canonical explanation for it is, I got a guy. Which is, I love an ARG. Even an ARG that is just like last minute silliness. I mean, we can't know for sure how much thought was put into it or how much of it was there ahead of time, but that is the conclusion that I found after a lot of digging. Goodness knows if any new information has come out in the past 10 years. 10 years? 5 years. Little crab skirt. Ugh, do I color this? That sounds tedious, and I didn't close any of my lines. Oh, gotta get the, let's go for a big sickle. Big sickle. Sickle that is big. Yes. We can put a little... another cute little ribbon on it. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. That was a fun rabbit hole, the W.D. Gaster rabbit hole. I love that shit. Love that shit. And I love Doki Doki Literature Club. I thought W.D. Gaster was Sansa Papyrus's dad. That is one theory. Because they're all skeleton people and talk in fonts. W.D. of Gaster is believed to be wingdings. There's like no canonical information available. Little to no canonical information. No information outside of what we see in the game, I think. Hard to say. I remember nothing. Now, hopefully, to not fuck up on the face. Why did I not do the face first? This was a mistake. I love how many characters in this game have overbites. As someone with an overbite, it was really validating, although I did not cosplay any of the Egbert Crocker English characters that would have played to that. But that's fine. I haven't even drawn his face, but look at his stupid face. I love him. The 2 times if I if I had a nickel for every time I shipped a crack fic that years later became canon, I would have 2 nickels because I was shipping Dave Cat before they ever met just because they seemed to work well together. Get those dark eyeshadows. Yep. And then similarly, I was shipping Tweak and Craig way back in the day, and then my little 15-year-old heart was vindicated when they made it canon. That was a special day. I tried to submit fan art for that episode, but they were really looking for something that was more anime inspired. Whereas I wasn't actually on the anime. I was taking a break from anime when I was on DeviantArt. I was very heavily on the side of the website that was just like other shit. So I never got into Hetalia. I never liked moe style stuff. I did finally watch I'm gonna give him elf ears. I did finally watch Lucky Star out of curiosity, and oh my god, vomits. The character's dad, where it's just like, haha, pedophilia is so cute and funny, or whatever the fuck. And I'm just like over here, like, retching. I learned about Loveless recently. That one managed to skip over my head. Thankfully, I was already exposed to far too much on the internet. I am glad that some of it did miss me. Um, his Ida Boo Boo face. Ia Boo Boo. La Boo Boo. Okay, that's an L. He does have a Labubu. Oh my god. I actually do think I've seen a Karkat Labubu somewhere. It's simply too fitting. Let's get those. I'll put the horns on in post. I'll get fancy with it. I did cosplay Karkat once. I probably for a panel or to like match somebody in some respect. There was one Halloween. This was before I started going and meeting Homestuck people. There was one Halloween where I'd gotten both of my younger siblings into it, and I made them a Karkat and a Nepeta costume. And I feel really bad because I had to spray paint my little brother's hair black, not spray paint, you know, like the hair color spray. And so the whole night he was just like dealing with that. And then the next year was like, I want to be Wii Fit trainer. And I'm like, you know, that means we have to like break out the black hairspray again and paint your face again. And he's like, no, I got it this time. And then it was just like in sensory overload all night. And I'm like, dude, we've done this. We've been here. Halloween, like a convention, except you're fucking stuck outside. As a kid, anyway. If you're trick-or-treating. Otherwise, much easier than a convention because you're just going to a friend's house and getting drunk in costume for a few hours. Fuck, I want to get drunk in costume. Okay. Let's get some iconic-ass shit in here. Hello, are you reading my eye pencil, Apple Pencil? Come on. There you are. Nope. Over here. Oh my god. Mild technical difficulties. I've made a lot of horns. Back when I had energy and reason to do like multiple cosplays in a year. Oh, come on. Yeah. And I still have a lot of them. Let's just do this. See if that's anything. Oh, now he looks like Hades. Is that the character I'm thinking of? From the video game that is also called Hades? I feel dumb. That is not the type of video game that I'm capable enough of a gamer to be able to play. But it seems cool. I recognize this little dude. This is my good friend Karkat. Have you met him? He, I don't think, ever canonically said fuck ass. The thing that everyone made him say in every comic and panel on Earth. Not a quote of his. Just like I think, doesn't Sherlock not say it's elementary Watson or something like that? One of those famous misquotes. Oh, they're wonky. I love him. Why do I always do the pupils last? Look at this idiot. I hate him. He's wonderful. I might color this later. It's really cute and stupid. This magical girl Karkat, and he's here to shout obscenities at you in caps lock. Jack says he said it twice in the same conversation, I think. I couldn't tell you. I don't feel like looking it up. Arple, only 2? Check, I believe so. Maybe it was 3. He's cute! It's peak! Look at baby! He will end up on Tumblr later. And it will get more notes than any of my, like, genuine art. Because that's how the internet works. Oh wait, I forgot an important thing. Very, very important. Very important. Ha 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 ha. We'll do a little matching. Boop. Boop. Yeah. He says it once. Okay. Jade says it twice. Damn, Jade. That to me almost feels like a response to the fandom of just like pointing it out.
All right. Doing a stretchy. Where are we at? Hour and a half in.
Okay. I could do another suggestione. General suggestions, character is a magical girl, or I could choose 2 more random characters to fuse. Or you could give me a character to fuse, and then I choose a random character to fuse that with.
Because those are the challenges on the docket for today.
Naz Girlydom says, it would be so funny if Carcat had all that magical girl dress and yet still rocked the black shoes. I did run out of room for the shoes. I think these are like knee-high crab armor ass shoes, but the black shoes is very funny to me, especially if he has his like baggy pants on underneath the skirt. Dragon, unhelpful, non-specific suggestion. Wait, the slaps I also vote dragon. I was gonna say something with loop, but I changed my vote to dragon. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. So here's a little something about me. I'm like wicked bad at drawing creatures. I can do cats and like kind of rabbits, sort of, but I did try and do like a dragon for a friend recently, and I cannot begin to describe how fucked it was, how deeply, deeply fucked it was. My specialty is faces and outfits. Can only draw dragons and people. Yeah. Yeah. I also need to drill. I'm so fucking cliche of my not having practice drawing backgrounds and not being able to draw fucking objects in physical space.
Oh, the amount that I need to practice.
Ooh, the amount. Oh god. No god. I can like... I could probably draw a horse, actually. I only know what I know because I had this period of time in high school where I was really into giraffe row, and so everywhere I would just draw a giraffe with an afro, which did require me to learn what giraffes look like. I also made a sculpture of a giraffe that I was going to put an afro on and then never did. So I just have like a giraffe head on my shelf. So I do vaguely know what like that type of creature looks like shapey wise. This is a Charizard. This is very specifically a Charizard. Yeah, look. I think this is what they do. I think this is what it's like. Maybe, sort of, maybe get like... Nah, that ain't it. Ah! Sorry, I opened a new tab. I accidentally clicked an ad. And then I think like... They usually have horns, I think, right? Sort of, maybe. Horns. Clocking a fucking Homestuck reference in Hell of a Boss. Horns! Yeah, okay. I see you. Vivian is not a fan, but definitely people on her team. I mean, they put like the clock in the background of the pilot or whatever. Charizard looks very Pokemon-like in a good way. Wait, there's more. Jack says, wish I made any of my Gahul Esat owls Or is it Lasat? A Tyto owl, because I got some photos of my local barn owl yelling in everyone's face. Oh, we love an owl in general. Good references. He's so loud. Yeah, screaming. Fittingly, Charizard has giraffe-like head extensions. Oh, yeah. I always wondered what was up with those. Like, are they horns? Are they Shrekky? Do they have something to do with creating fire? The world may never know. Let's do one of them long neck boys. Like Charizard. I think maybe Charizard is the dragon I know how to draw. And wings. I did learn how to draw bat wings in middle school. So they are my shorthand from bat wings that I learned in middle school, and will look it. Will I ever update my shorthand? No. I have very little need for drawing bat wings outside of drawing my old Gaia Online avatar. I would just put her in underwear because I thought it looked cute, and then like a bunch of accessories. And to be fair, there's a lot of anime characters that are just that, so I think I was on the money. Wait. Yeah, that's basically it, right? Something like that. Something to that effect. And then it's like a little claw. Yeah, this is basically a dragon. Thermal regulation, you know, that makes sense. I was not an animal kid, hence why I don't really know how to draw them, because I just didn't have that, like, phase or that want. I was very much a cat kid, hence why I can draw cats. They're basically bags. Like, once you kind of figure out Pikachu's the same way, it's basically a bag. So, like, they don't have, like, an external shape as much as you need to know, like... Did I just refresh the page? What happened? Okay. As much as you need to know sort of what's going on under the surface, and then picture that inside a sack. That's my how to draw a cat tutorial. This is Story of a Girl. This is Dragon. This is Dragon, yes? This is more or less Dragon, I believe. It's so doofy. This is the world's most doofy little guy. Let's give him some front fangs. Yeah. That's what dragon do. Very pear-shaped. I don't even know, man. Alright, new suggestion. Crater River and drown the whole world. I have a theory that, like, I actually don't know what genre or time period that song is, but, like, emo era music, I'm pretty sure, like, most of those songs are just men whining about a girl who broke up with them, probably for good reason. Like, if you... I haven't looked this up, but if you listen to the lyrics of, like, all these songs, it's like... I get the feeling that maybe she wasn't as bad as you're making her out to be, because you're the one writing a song bitching about her so much. Maybe Dwink? Ooh. I have been meaning to draw some sort of graphic for those streams. I love my buddy Dwink. They care so much. I can't imagine caring that much openly where people can see me, except about Flowey, because I'll scream that shit from the rooftops. I think I can do it from memory. Something along these lines. I love this little dude. I love this game. Ugh. It's not super well known. I don't know if it has like, I haven't dipped into like fandom for it or anything. I think Markiplier might have played it. Do not quote me on that. But I remember being kind of bummed when I like played it and I was like, oh my god, this is great. Like, is this as well known as like Omori and shit? And no, fucking no one has heard of it. Which is Bolshevik. Little tap, tap, tap. He's just a weird little, creepy little guy, all. What are his hands doing? I know one of them is like hanging back here, like just like, yeah, all long, and he's got those. I do not go to Magnus Archives, but I know that there's a person with that type of hand. Oh, it's something like this. Let's see. Will this program let me do what I want to do? Oh. Yeah, that's good. I can work with that. Oh yeah, my beef with the Homestuck pilot. They were just trying to include everything, and I think if you were to do an actual adaptation, you need to cut out a lot of it and give more, either rewrite syllabexes or give them more time to be explained. There's just so much to the comic it's a long fucking comic, and it's very much geared towards like gamers and like programmers. Like there's a lot of stuff that is really exclusive to that sphere, which I think made it like pretty inaccessible to a lot of people, which is why, you know, skip to Act 5 was like a big thing. Also just because everyone would see the trolls everywhere and be like, what is that? And it's like, we'll just skip to Act 5 because it takes forever to get to them. The pilot was trying to do too many things at once. Something it did really, really well was the chatting, of making it, because, you know, it would just be like a gif of one of them typing, and then you would have like the whole chat log to read, right? And that like worked for that format. I gotta look up what his other hand is doing. And they did a really great job of like making that visually interesting. Oh, I didn't even get it like remotely correct. This is not what, but I made him way more human than he actually is. Oh, he's so spindly. Oh no. Oh no. Preparing. Let's see. I can't figure out how to get into the actual like lasso tool for whatever reason. Oh wait, no, there it is. Lasso. Yes. You're in the money. I just hope, I mean, they're still making like the full Homestuck series. And so the hope is that it's not all like that. Because I don't think you're gonna get new people in, or even really hold the attention of like old fans if it's just that weird, constantly moving, like there's so much shit happening in the background. Like there's never a still moment where you can like if you choose to pay attention to the words that they're saying, you are missing like 8 fucking things that are happening on screen. It's a little bit miserable. It is very well animated though. I have irrational anger over I can't remember what was it, Wandering Vagabond / Mare being the narrator, and that the narration is in universe. So too many lore breaking implications. Yeah. Having a narrator at all is a little like, it's got to be, I mean, like Hussey would come in and do recaps, I guess. Like I don't recall, I guess there is a narrator. Is it canonical that he's the narrator? I think it's canonical that he's the narrator and typing. I don't know. That's another thing that's difficult to translate. It's a written format to a visual format. You're gonna get what you're gonna get. Look at this fucking Slenderman ass bitch. I love him. All right, show me that horrible, horrible hand of yours. Yes, good. Yes, good. Oh, it's bad. It's so much worse than I remembered. Oh no. Ew. Awful, awful, horrible little thing. It's bad. It's a bad time. I'm just losing over this stupid little fucking hand. Oh, they did a good job with the creepy imagery. I will say, like, as much as I love Buddy Simulator, like, I wouldn't say, like, it's as good as stuff like Omori and Undertale and Doki Doki. Like, or even in Stars in Time. I think it's a little lower down, and it does rely on gimmick, but I think the things that it does so well, and it does have a lot of, like, genuine moments that make me laugh out loud, which is huge for me. That's kind of my thing. Elongated Dwink. Such beautiful hands, perfect for grabbing. I wasn't expecting that to be like, I fully forgot that this game has fucking jump scares. Oh my god, he's sitting in a little chair. Shut the fuck up. I can't with this dude. He's sitting in the fucking armchair from the living room. Oh my god. This is my good pal Dwink. He's going to let me use his phone charger. I did not make him nearly creepy enough. This dude is so much creepier in real life. He's very much like, weird little spoon dude. Oh, now I'm getting way too into the actual, like, drawing of this. If I'm gonna actually draw this, I should draw it way later. He's just so creepy. I love him. Creepy and spoony. There. It's like super not a human head. Okay. That's Dwink Bexon, which is a Tom Cardy reference. If you know, he did Red Flags, the Human Centipede song, and Perception Check, about the shitty Dungeons and Dragons player, fucking, you're a short motherfucker and nobody likes you. Love Tom Cardy. He has a song called Businessman, and it's like so wordy, and I adore it. And it's like a guy who's like pretending to be a businessman in a coffee shop, and these two guys are like, you're a cop. Actually, I can tell that you're clearly an undercover cop. And then slowly the guy just keeps like giving away the fact that like he's like receiving calls from an armed sniper, and he's like, there's no sniper. One of my friends just has a single chicken pox on the center of their forehead. And he says he doesn't know the sniper, and the sniper gets like really butthurt. Like, what do you mean you don't know me? I was the best man at your wedding. And so the sniper starts shooting him until he, like, you know, say my name. No, you got a dumb name. Ah, fine. Dwink Bexon. What? That's his name. Dwink Bexon. So that is why my buddy's named Dwink, and I completely didn't realize until I had hit enter that it is one letter away from my name. So Twink and Dwink against the world. There's a Slay the Princess animatic of Businessman, and it's so good. Oh my god! I desperately need it. I did fix their shrimp. Their shrimp posture does show up more in, like, their chest is definitely, like, more caved in than I made it. But they just have that creepy little fucking spoon head that I love. That fucking solar opposites head shape. By Lav B on YouTube. So go check out Slay the Princess animatic of Businessman by Lav B. It's L-A-V space B on YouTube. And I am going to watch it after this because I'm delighted. Now, Scarlettum says, I love the song About 8 Hours. I say I'm a Tom Cardy fan, but I've listened to maybe 10 of his songs, and I do need to dig into his other stuff. I do not know that one. I want to know that one. I want to know all of them. And the animators that he gets are so good. Jesus Christ, the person who did Human Centipede, okay, so taking suggestions again while I talk about stupidness. Does anybody else like that thing where you picture a music video in your head to songs, but like I'll do the thing where I'm like, oh, what if I did a one of these days I'm gonna enter a cosplay lip sync contest. I swear to God, I have lofty dreams of doing like a tango number to Human Centipede with my friend, us as Alistair and Lucifer. I think would be pretty great. A second dragon. Don't do this. I will not. No more dragons forever, except probably again in the future. I don't know. Everybody in my server loves dragons. I'm the lone non-dragon of the group. Jax says, in middle school, I used to fantasize about setting up choreographed plays of songs I like with fandoms I like. Yeah, I imagine a lot of animatics. Yeah, level 2 of imagining animations in your head. I simply do not have the patience. That's not true. I have the patience for animatics. I don't like drawing as much as I like writing. So I did animatics when I first got into ESAT, and then I discovered writing, and now I'm like, you know what would be like so much easier? If I just wrote a stupid Diablo Cody-ass scene of these two making references to shows that I watch. The easiest thing in the world. Okay, choose a character. I'm going to choose a random character from my 151 characters, and what other character should I fuse it with? We're back on fusions. He's touching my ear. Get it off. Boop. There. Much better. He looks like he's going fucking Leroy Jenkins. Hi, Steven Shrekiverse. I love you, Steven Shrekiverse. Maybe I could just do like... How fast can I just do like 10,000 Siffrin fusions? Last week we did Siffrin and Pikachu, and Siffrin and Garfield. Or no, and Lupin Garfield were the ones that we did. I love a fucking fusion. There's one live action human on my list of characters. All the other ones are cartoons or puppets. Hamtaro X Arbor. Wait, don't tell me. I know who that is. I know who that is. Fuck. I don't know who Arbor is. I thought I did. I don't. Hamtaro is not on the list, weirdly enough. I don't think they are anyway. There's not as much anime as there is American stuff. It's a wild one. Ed, and Eddie each have their own number, as do Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup. Because I felt like they all deserved their time to shine. Who is Arbor? I feel like I was just watching something where a character was named Arbor. The bubble companion you chose on the last buddy. Oh, the bubble one. Yes. Oh my god, thank you. I knew it was something recent. I dislike the bubble friend now because they're not very good at combat. I think there's a chance to like replace buddies. Hopefully, their main attack doesn't do as much HP as the others, and then their like special combo is like I can't figure out how to do it on the keyboard. What did Arbor look like? Can I do Arbor from memory? I could also do characters from memory. This is also a thing I could do, or characters from memory within a time limit. All Drawfee challenges are on the table. Also, I am also sad that Karina is gone, but I hope she is doing well, or at least better, because of it. I don't want to draw Arbor. I'm picking and choosing. I'm picking Hamtaro, and I'm doing number 104, which is Marcille from Delicious in Dungeon. Right after I said there wasn't much anime. Okay. Marcille. Well, then, am I making a Gajinka hamster girl, or am I just dressing Hamtaro up as Marcille? I love her. I'm so... Have we gotten any announcements on season 2 yet? I'm so deeply connected to the voice actors that I don't want to read ahead. I want to only hear it from them. Siftaro. Sifrin is a hamster. This is canonical. Let's see. Marcille birthday. So that I can... Oh, I could also just draw her as like a hamster OC. Oh, boo, boo, boo. No, look up Hamtaro first. We're gonna do a Hamtaro with Marcille stuff. No, not skinny Hamtaro. I get so mad about skinny Hamtaro. How fucking dare you? He's supposed to be square-shaped. I bet if I learned how to draw without underdrawings, I could go faster. This is a theory I've been kicking around. I do think there is a genetic component to people who can draw fast. That is simply just like not how my brain works. But I do think there are things I can do to become faster. And I am just simply not doing them. Still in production. Okay, I mean, they can take their time. Like, I'll wait for a quality product. Like, I'm a Venture Brothers fan. Like, good television is worth the wait. Good anything is worth the fucking wait. Me and, if you were here for the last drawing stream, Carly, or I can't pronounce her Tumblr name. It's like Fujitabos or something. We are both huge fucking Kabru simps, and it's nice to not feel so alone on loving this fucking stupid fake idiot, this fucking con artist. What is that one post that's like, congratulations, Kabru, on successfully gaslighting the autistic man? He sucks so much. I love him. Oh, man. This is not a bad Hamtaro. This is not a bad little Hamtaro guy. Aww. I think I mentioned this before, but I loved the sex pest character in Hamtaro. That was like introduced later, so like not technically main cast, so it was really hard to find like merchandise of him. Even though I could just get his twin sister and call it Stan, but no, it has to be labeled as such. Jax's manga is extra good, but I have an unfair advantage of being a book reader. Yeah, I've never been a book reader, which is absolutely wild that I got so deeply into fan fiction. I think maybe there's just a part of me that enjoys knowing what the character looks like before going into a thing. Or, I mean, it's a pre-sold. It's definitely about, like, I already like the thing. You don't have to sell me on it. I just want to know more about them, and that was the only way I could do so. And yet, ever since I started writing, I haven't been able to, like, read fan fiction, which is really fucking heartbreaking because now I have, like, it's not just that there's fan fiction to read, it's, like, fan fiction that my friends wrote, and I'm just not reading it because every time I start reading the fan fiction, I'm like, but I could also be writing it, and if I wrote it, it would be exactly what I want it to be, and also, after I'm done writing it, people will say nice things about it. So it's this, like, multiple thing of, like, damn, this is a good fanfic. You know what would be better? A perfectly tailored fanfic for my tastes. I'll just start, like, fantasizing about it mid-read. It's hard to be a good artist friend when you're not actually ingesting your friend's art. Catching up on chat. I'm getting very absorbed in these hollow, endless void eyes. Jax's fanfiction is formatted and written so differently since a lot of published books have very strict rules, so they're worth the processing funds. Fair? Way freer. Yeah. I love indie content as always. I mean, there's less cooks in the kitchen and less red tape, so you're always getting a much more, like, straight from the... It's always much closer to the creative vision, but also then you don't have, like, the budget to really do things, so, you know, it's a give and take. That's girlydom. Imagination be damn, I already used it all on the fan art. Yeah, Jax is true. I'm behind on my library book because whenever I want to read, I write. Yes, it's an affliction. It was not an issue that I had beforehand. This is fine. Oh, did I break the brush again? No, we're good. Getting all the Hamtaro parts, and then we'll add the Marcille parts. I really love being a part of fandom. I really have been, like, lurking for fucking ever. When I was, like, little, I like, shipped Ash and Misty in my head. Like, that I think was probably my first, like, ship. Although I feel like maybe some part of my, like, toddler brain was like, what if Princess Jasmine and Iago kissed? But too young and underdeveloped to know. I've always been a hopeless romantic, and I truly blame 90s television, because it was just like every kid's show was deeply about like, these are the two characters that have a crush on each other. When are they going to get together? For Arnold and Helga, fucking never. She's I get so squicked about that. Awful. Never, never, never. Hate that. Why can I not get this mouth? Mouth. But in like middle school, like 13-ish, when I finally got into DeviantArt, and I found, I don't know if this artist was well known enough to know by name, but her username was Hot Chalk, the dash in the middle, and she very much was like doing shipping stuff for like all of these American cartoons. Like she had like a bunch of like Fairly Odd Parents stuff, but then she got deep into like Camp Laszlo, and that was my first, like, I spent weeks upon weeks going through her enormous DeviantArt backlog for all of the like Laszlo X Edward stuff, and was like so heartbroken when I like finally caught up, because it really did take me, like, there was so much of it. It took a long time, and then it was like, oh, I can read fan fiction about this. Oh, I can do blah, 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 blah. And then I discovered that there was a whole sect of people that shipped Pikachu and Meowth. And Meowth, I don't know if you know this, that's my special little guy. That's my main, that is Blorbo OG. That is my soul, my internal fan fiction, fan art soulmate. I love him. And I was like, oh, you can ship him? Oh, not only is there like canonical evidence, there was like, it was like a web ring that still existed for whatever reason, of like people doing fan pages dedicated to different Pokemon ships, and it had like, it listed out like, this is all of the like canonical evidence for this, and it's canon in Japan, so this is something that I learned, that there will be like audio CDs that are like bonus content for anime, and they had like ears. How does ear do? Like this? Yeah, more or less. And so there were like songs and audio tracks and things in for the Pokemon anime that didn't ever get released over here, including this book that was like about Team Rocket, and there was like, what was his name, Mondo? If you're in the fan fiction, you'll see like Mondo sometimes referenced, and that's like, he's like a special little guy who adores them and shows up and helps them fix their hot air balloon and brings them little like kits so they can build their stupid robots. And that was like a whole side. That book also has a singular, like a piece of lore where like Jessie joined Team Rocket because her mom is like really high up in the Team Rocket business, like works alongside Giovanni, and there's like a singular shot of her like on a mountaintop or some shit, which Kiana Draws took and ran with. Because of course she did. I fucking love her. Why can I not remember her last name? Whatever. There is a song on one of their CDs that is literally Meowth singing a love song to Pikachu, and it's so in that realm of like anime queer bait. There's literally a line where he goes, I love you like people would love a girl. Wait, no, forget I said that. So that is canon. These eyes are like woefully incorrect, but I need to move on to the Marcille section. So I still ship Meowth and Pikachu. I still hold that ship very dear to my heart. And I think one of these days, because I've entertained a lot of Poke Annie, or however you pronounce that, stories in my brain that never made it to paper. Maybe now I will do my Reverse Rocket AU, but I always wanted it to be a comic is the problem. And goodness knows, Her last name is Donato. Donato. Donatillo. Oh, bye, Nesgrelidum! The bathroom war? Oh, wait, I'm behind. Texas, I think I accidentally had too much dairy before dairy pills. My stomach hurts. I must disappear. Oh, we're saying bye to Jack. Bye, Jack. Good luck. Thank you. Goodbye to Jack. Oh, best of luck. Dairy is a duplicitous bitch. I also can only have a little bit, or else I get heartburn. Wait a second. How do you make a hamster elf? She has pointy ears, but if I give a hamster pointy ears, it'll become a rabbit. Oh no. Oh no. This is terrible. Oh Jesus. Fuck. No, this is fine. We can do this. We can work with this. Fuck. Everything is ruined. The world is over. We'll just see if we can't get some. I love that Shinji's voice actor just looks like Shinji. The person who does Chilchak. They're like going to be at like a convention near me at some point. They show the picture of like them next to the picture of Shinji, and I'm like, okay. So they just are Shinji. Like, just show up in the white button-up shirt. People will lose it. Let's see. There's a little hood to it. A little hood element. Yoop. I like drawing clothes. I like fashion. I put a lot of like younger me into that loop description of like, I don't like drawing. I like doing 3D art and making little accessories and editing things I got at Goodwill. Like, that was 100% me at that age. Because drawing, you have to take a 3D thing and make it flat and still look 3D. But if you're just like sculpting some shit, like, you're already there. And it's another like natural brain wiring thing is that my brain has like an extra hard time converting 3D into 2D and back again. So but it's not like I don't have, I have like I can sculpt things really well. So it can be it can feel insulting to my skill level when I try and draw something and it's fucking awful, and then I sculpt it and it's fucking like picture perfect. I went to art school, man. Not enough of it to get good, but enough of it to know all of the reasons that it's bad. Enough to be a know-it-all when I see bad graphic design. And I tell people, oh my god, this is bad graphic design. And they sigh and go, yeah? That's not true. That's just how I interpret it. Drawing Sifrin has helped me get better at cloaks. Clothing folds are hard, man. Don't even get me started. Oh, her sleeves are like weird little saggy pocket things? That doesn't seem... They're like... Okay, they're like wizard robes, but then they come up like this, and then they're sewn shut for the most part. That doesn't make any fucking sense. That can't be comfortable, Marcille. What is that? That's so dumb. That's so fucking form over function. Nothing beats, in terms of like, why would any human being wear this, like, character design? Nothing beats, what is it? Was it Square Enix that did Harvestella? Or like Xseed or whatever, whoever does Rune Factory. Oh my god, the fact that there will just be like sections of the clothing missing in ways that would make it like fall off of your body in real life. Like, god, I don't think anyone is cosplaying like newer Rune Factories or Harvestella, and thank fuck, because this shit is like unwearable for human beings. My favorite is there's like this Master Chief looking type character with like a full armor and helmet and whatnot, except the Harvestella has such a particular like body type to it that is very like tiny shoulders, tiny rib cage, wide berth and hips, and then the legs come down to like little tiny feet, right? Kind of like Hornet's feet in Silk Song. Ooh, little skirt, little skirt, little skirt. Like, well, maybe a little lower. Like this, yes. But the fucking Halo looking character has those tiny feet, but like smaller because they have fuck, I don't know that I can even like describe this accurately. It's like the highest heel stilettos ever like built into their stupid fucking spacesuit. Like pointy awful knives for heels, and there's like something on the back that would be like the heel part of the heel that like sticks out a little bit, but they're like rockets, and so I think the implication is like, no, they're supposed to look like this because of rockets, and it's like, no, you just wanted to like really establish that the character in the suit was female, and also of course she has big honkin' bazonkers, but wait, does she? It might just be the heels. I would love to, I feel like at some point I would love to stream just the like beginning of that game, because it is so fucking funny. I think like it's so poorly written. Like, it's so poorly written. I cannot even describe the levels of which is poorly written, and I wasn't expecting that like the writing got better in the game. Like, all of the writing after the opening is like really compelling in a way that most farming games are absolutely not. So I was pretty blown away by that, because the opening's the most corny shit I think I've ever seen in my life. So I might do that someday, and also to show everybody the extremely over-designed characters. Nazgirlitum says, I search Hamtaro long years, and the only character that appears is one called Radar. I'm not familiar with Radar. Are they skinny? Because that would be a character that would have been introduced later than I was watching it. I think that was like my only experience with like actual like early 2000s web rings, was finding a Hamtaro one and clicking through it where like everything was in Japanese, but there was like Hamtaro movies that didn't get released in America, and so there's all of this art from like the movies and like stuff that hadn't been released yet, and it was like, I think I was shipping Stan and Pashmina. I think that was like a thing. I'm actually pretty proud of this little drawing. I wasn't expecting to put this much effort in. Ah, shit, she has a belt. Oh god, oh Jesus, oh god. Yeah, I probably will not pick Hamtaro back up for streaming. It's simply not entertaining enough. It's so cute. It's so fucking cute, and it's a game that I love dearly. I essentially, it's like, you know, when you stream, pick something that you like really love, so that like you're, you know, people will enjoy your passion, right? And so I was like, yeah, okay. But I think that's all of the content that that game can provide for me. It just doesn't have a whole lot beyond that. But I would suggest, if you're somebody who emulates, the favorite of the trio is Ham Ham Heartbreak. The second one is very beloved. And it's just, I love a find the language type game, like Beacon Pines is a very cool genre that doesn't get explored a whole lot. There we go, belt. And then little X's. Or I guess a singular X is probably all that's gonna fit here. Yeah. Yeah. That's a Marcille to me. To me, you are Marcille. Maybe a little bit more. Beep, boop. Yeah. I got really invested in this. I was not expecting to get so invested in this. She's cute. I'm not going to give her her belt. I'm not giving her any backpacks or accessories. This is the extent of it. Oh, she's cute. And I ship her with Fallon. Just like everyone else. I've seen some really cool, like, Dragon Fallon type cosplays. Everyone has a really cool take on it. Just seems like one of those costumes that would be really fun to design. I need to do more stuff like that. I get very obsessed with making something as screen accurate as possible while also making it sort of translate to the real world.
She's beautiful.
Yes. I love all the characters, genuinely, deeply. All right, now I gotta pick. Well, I was going to give her her staff. Kind of here-ish, I suppose. Fuck, what was I saying? Gone forever. My friends were going to cosplay Dungeon Meshi, and I said, and they were like, they were all picking characters, and they're like, and you'll be Chill Chuck, and I fucking knew. When I saw Chill Chuck, when I was like watching it, I was like, my friends are gonna ask me to cosplay that. And they fucking did, and I refused to be pigeonholed into playing little boys and twinks. That's not true. I'll play a twink all fucking day. That's part of why my name is my name. I have cosplayed Reagan Arataka. I know what I am. But I don't want to be Chill Chuck. I nothing Chill Chuck. I feel so little towards him. I simply cannot be bothered. And so I said, no, thank you. I will either be the only thing that I will cosplay if you will have me is Elf Senshi. And that's the end of the list. Take it or leave it. And they were like, nah, we want to do the regular group. Like, nope. I'm too white for Kabru, so this is all. Although I do see white Kabrus quite often, and I'm just like, I mean, I guess it's fine if you're not like I once saw a Prince Wu cosplayer that did the full like bronzer to darken their skin. And I suppose it's fine if you're not doing that. But that just makes me far too uncomfortable. I don't there's no character that I like enough to do that about. But I won't cosplay Chilchuck, and you can't make me. Maybe human Chilchuck, just because I do find that the like 5 o'clock shadow is funny to me. Like, he's ascended to his final form, Scruffy David Tennant. I should probably put it in front of the hand so that she's actually holding it, huh? That would make more sense. And now I have to choose one of her many, many hairstyles, which is such a cool thing. Oh, I like this one with the bangs. Yes, 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 yes. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Oh, I love Marcille. I would also cosplay Marcille. That was the problem, is that, like, one of my friends already snagged that one. And I'm like, I also love when something is popular enough that you can just kind of buy the costume. I simply do not. I do not have the energy to make anything complicated these days. 1,200 strokes! That's twice as much as the last milestone. Sweet fucking Jesus. Do I just need to do more continuous lines? I don't do the well, that's the eraser. I don't do the n thing. Not anymore. Not since the old days. But I could probably do more long lines. Fallon with the dragon form, but it's just a small Hamtaro at the head. Oh my god. Still with the big honkin' bazonkaroos.
Ooh, let's do the little...
Her precious little ribbon. Oh, shut up. This is cute. Oh no. I knew it would be cute for Hamtaro reasons. I forgot that it would also be cute for Marcille reasons. I've been seeing much better. I don't watch a whole lot of anime in general, but I've been seeing much better, like, writing for female characters recently. I think less sexist and more like real people, which is cool. I know that Japan is its own whole can of worms, and that I'm, judging things by an American standard, so there could be sexist tropes happening that I'm unaware of, but I think Marcelle's a very well-written female character, which is, like, really cool. Like, she has a lot of depth and she doesn't fall into a lot of tropes, and even when she does, it's, like, not, like the whole, like, I don't know, like, useless female damsel in distress. Like, there is that whole episode where she is just falling behind and making everything worse, but then, like, you watch her do, like, this insane magic shit, and then it's like, oh, okay, and she is kind of a useless, clumsy female in some respects, which is still quite relatable. And I fucking love Frieren. Frieren, I genuinely don't think I've seen in anything a low emotive female character that wasn't treated like a fucking freak for it. Like, that it is just so, like, that's just Frieren. Like, it's not just, oh my god, she's such a fucking weirdo. Like, she's treated as a weirdo because of her, like, I've lived forever attitude towards things, which is cute and also fair, but her general, like, she doesn't often have, like, big reactions to things, is, like, not, it is barely pointed out. She's instead, they give her a hard time about, like, sleeping in, or her, like, fucked up priorities and stuff like that. And I've never fucking seen that. And, like, as a low emotive female, I really need more representation like that. It means a lot to me. I'm not going to do braids in front of the costume, because I'm really happy how it turned out. So I'll just sort of put them, I guess, back here. We'll just do a little braid back here. We'll do the little X cheat. I don't feel like remembering how to actually draw a braid. Cute. Why is it so cute? And then the ponytail needs to continue down here. Yeah. I genuinely don't know what to do about the pointiness. I guess, you know what, I could do like, is that anything? Oh, it kind of creates a bad tangent over here. Oh no. Oh no. I did this all in one layer. Nothing can be fixed. I hate this. Okay, that's pretty great. I don't have a style of my own, much like I don't write original content. So I sort of do my own version of the ESAT style, which is you take the reference image and then you really have to shift shit around to make it work with the big old giant head. Okay, suggestions. We've got a half hour left. I don't know. I'm a little bit head empty. God, I'm just staring at this cute little fucking hamster. Why are you like this? I could do fusions. The three things that were on the docket were ESAT fan art. Well, it was just draw ESAT fan art. Magical girls and fusions. So I could do more character fusions or just take any drawing suggestion. Or man, one of these days I just have to be like, just send me a cool pose so that I don't have to look up pose reference and then just draw characters in those poses. I vote for the dealer's choice this time. Is there something that I need to draw? Probably a character reference. I think. Yeah. I've had enough warm up that I can probably. Let me go through my pose reference folder on my phone. Because I need to make a character sheet. Well, what I really need to do is I need to make some sort of header for a master post so that I can link to any other drawings or things that I do about the college AU. Does anybody else keep, like, a library of fan art that they like? Because my Dropbox is full of, like, 20 years of things saved from Tumblr and DeviantArt and Google Images. Water break. And I always wonder, like, I mean, I'm sure other people do that too, but I always like, who has stuff that I've done in their Dropbox? It's something I've done for like so long that it's really like, the idea of being on the other side of it really delights me. Here are some cute pose references. Oh, I've got some pin-up poses in here. I kind of like that. Very anime stuff. Oh, it's cute. Oh, I kind of like the jumping one, but then I would have to draw the vocal cords, get it together. But then I would have to draw all the clothing and hair and stuff hovering. Having them pose with, oh, I know what would be a cute thing for the header. Oh, just the two of them taking a selfie. Let me get some. Sorry. If I was better at doing this, I would have this on stream. Instead, I'm just going to narrate myself looking up selfie pose reference. No, two people in the picture, please. I so appreciate people who create pose references because it's so much easier to draw them from something that's another thing I need to do is I need to use more like drawn reference because it makes it easier for my brain to comprehend. No, what do I need to add to the search terms to get it to be two people? I guess couple. Couple selfie pose reference. I need it to be one of those really obnoxious ones. Like in anime theme songs when they just like throw their arm over the person's shoulder and the person is like, oh my god. Too much physical contact. What are you doing? Or they do just a little No. Maybe this is an off-stream endeavor. The fact that I'm finding all of zero, all of nothing of what I'm looking for means this is definitely an off-stream endeavor. That's fine. I'll use one of these little cute things and just draw a loop. A little loop-de-doop. But then I have to choose. Oh no, and no one can see what I'm doing. This is poison. I'll do this. From, Albanacci on the Tumblr. Well, I guess they're on other sites. But they, in my opinion, do the best pose references. That's ALBANENECHI. And my computer just decided, or my, whatever, something just decided to turn on in the background. All right, get this hamster off my screen. I no longer wish to look at her. Oh yes, let's do a vertical character on a horizontal canvas. This is very smart and cool and will not backfire. It's odd to be witnessed while drawing. I feel like I'm doing it wrong. I know there isn't necessarily a wrong way to do it, but maybe someday people will point out something and I'll be like, oh, and it will fix everything. You know what else about Flowey? Why didn't he get to go to the surface too? I think canonically within the, like, alarm, I don't know if the alarm clock was like a post-canon thing. I have to assume someone went back for him, or else I'll cry about it. This hand is far too large. Frick. My brain is pudding. The pencil clearly on drawing on the screen. What?
Is that bad? Is that wrong?
I do not know the context for this. Oh, thank you. I do all right. I'm still not drawing as good as I was in my early 20s when I was like really obsessed about it and like posting on DeviantArt and shit. But my ESAT obsession has upped my game considerably. Like I posted forever ago that like, oh, this was the first not from reference Cifrin versus the most recent one, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, what was I even doing? The issue is that I don't practice, and so it's very much not like riding a bicycle. Like, these things atrophy like crazy. I just don't like it as much as I like writing. And yet I aspire to be a comic book artist / writer. So what's up with that? She said disparagingly to herself. Stop. I don't want you to be selected anymore. Okay. Oh no, brain is soup. What's something I can complain about? I like to complain. I use my parents' streaming accounts because why would I pay for things? But not all of them. Netflix in particular is like so shitty. Like, you don't live there. I'm like, well, thank fuck I don't live there, but also like, fuck you. But then I can watch it on my laptop and phone because it lets you. There's like a certain time limit of like, if you have logged onto the household Wi-Fi recently enough, they will let you get on there. So I was kicked off of Netflix for a while and now I'm back on, and so I'm just sort of watching anything. I don't know, anything to put on the background. And recent shows have been Heartbreak High, 4 seasons, and is it sex education or sexual education? I forget. Heartbreak High fucking rules. It's an Australian high school comedy. That's Grilladom. I'm pretty sure one's got to make the transcript before making the comics. So if you write good, then the first step secured. Yeah, that's the problem though, is I have all these comics written out, like they're well written. Like I have a brain for comics and storyboarding. It's one of my most practiced skills. It just, I have to actually draw it, and just that never happens. So I have so many like half-finished fucking, I have a lot of comic scripts written out. It's very infuriating. I would recommend those 3 shows. A couple things about each show. One of them, there's like this trope, and it's like a good trope because it's very realistic, I feel, about female besties, like particularly younger female besties, and just like, if you've seen this before, this thing that's just like, oh my god, I'm literally in love with my best friend. You're my sister. I love you. We should get married. That's very much like it's like no homo, but like you actually know it's no homo, but it does edge so much closer to gay than like anything else. But it is just like a deeply intimate female friendship, and they're just like, haha, fuck you, bitch. Oh my god, I would die for you. Like, there's it's so funny because it is a trope, but it's also like, I have been that person and met that person. Like, it is very much like a based in reality thing, while also being so over the top every time you see it on TV. And so they had a couple of those on Heartbreak High, which, oh my god, best autism representation I think I've ever seen. It beat out Everything's Going to Be Okay. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Everything's Going to Be Okay. Also a show I highly suggest. It has a asexual character and a heterosexual pan-romantic character, and they're a lesbian couple, and she's just like, I'm not sexually attracted to females, and the other one was like, that's fine, I'm asexual. And so they work out an agreement where the one like has casual hookups with men. And I've never seen that done before, which is extremely good. And also Josh Thomas, the guy who made it, is phenomenally funny. Oh, and that's the show that made me realize that I'm autistic, because I didn't know that you could have that and ADHD, but he literally has this whole episode based on real life because it is a show about autism, and then he had one season out of it and everyone's like, actually I think you're autistic too, and he's like, really? And or it might have been Hannah Gadsby because they're friends, and then he looked into it, and so they had like a whole episode about that was like really cool. And there's this moment with the autistic younger sister, and she's like, no, you're not autistic because you have all of these like social skills and you're nothing like me in my experience. And he's like, yeah, I'm actually like underneath the surface, what you're not seeing is that I'm trying really, really hard. And I just learned that no one else is trying really, really hard. And there's a beat and she's like, yeah, you're autistic. And it's really lovely. But yeah, the whole like asexuality representation is still pretty new, and I really like seeing the way that people handle and wrangle these things. But Heartbreak High, I'm always so concerned, especially because I was like watching like newer Miraculous Ladybug, and oh my god, the fucking autism representation in that makes me want to fucking die. It's so fucking hold your hand while also being weirdly incorrect. It's really like, and also like accidentally kind of making like autism itself the villain of the episode. It's so fucking weird. And I'm like, I can't. I actually have to skip this one. And then I get to Heartbreak High, and I'm just really expecting it to be like, you know, you're gonna treat me like this is an episode of Blue's Clues, and I actually don't fucking need this. But it was so all of it was explained through like cinematography and context clues, which were really well done. Like there's a scene where she has a date at a restaurant, and it was so like the second she like steps into the restaurant, I was like, oh my god, I would die. I would fucking hate it there. And I realized it was because they did such a good job with like sound editing that they made an extremely realistic representation of what it's like to be in like a crowded restaurant with like poor, like, you know, however the architecture is done on the building makes it just like the sound reverberates and explodes everywhere. And just, yeah, they did a really good job with that, and in multiple other ways it's like an extremely realistic thing. And also she writes smut fan fiction, and I felt really seen. But yeah, that show had the like female besties that I, because I was watching it at the time of writing my stuff, is like a lot of that dynamic is going to, also because I'm playing with tropes a lot with my college fic, that you will see some of that make its way in. The head is not correct. I have not done the head correctly. This is wrong. What have we done wrong here? And then poor sound quality for me, or poor sound quality in the show? Or in the restaurant? I zoned out. I missed what's happening. Yeah, I'll probably make some edits to this in the restaurant. Yeah, I've really lost my ability to handle restaurants lately. Like I will take one step in the door and have to bail. Thankfully I have very accommodating friends. But okay, then I watched 4 seasons. Okay. It's definitely one of those, like, if you like these actors, it's like a show about being married over 50, and it's like Tina Fey, Will Forte, Steve Carell, Carrie Kenny Silver, you remember her from like Reno 911, other people I don't recognize. And if you do watch it, don't watch the trailer because it immediately does like a huge spoiler right in the trailer. It's really obnoxious. But I was watching a whole fucking season of this, staring at this one woman and being like, your name looks fucking familiar, your face looks fucking familiar, nothing else is familiar though, why are you familiar? And then finally caving and looking it up, and she's fucking Charlie Morningstar from Has Been Hotel. And I'm so angry because I'm not enough of a fan of that to like stake my identity on it. Like, I don't want to say I'm a fan of Helliver's. It's something I like. It's something I enjoy. I have many grievances about it. It's very much Cheetos. It's bad for me and delicious. But I know what Charlie Morningstar looks like and sounds like, and so I'm watching it with the knowledge. This woman realizing, Charlie sounds pretty like, I don't know, like pretty vanilla. Like, it's a pretty like natural speaking voice. No, my dude is doing a voice. Her natural speaking voice does not sound like that. And I don't know, I find that very impressive because it's such a subtle thing that gives so much to the character. Those voice actors are truly fucking next level phenomenal. And of course they are, because they're all fucking Broadway babies. I don't know how I feel about this face. Sorry. my internet did a thing. Anyway, I was very mad that I didn't recognize her, but I was also like, yeah, of course I didn't recognize her. She doesn't sound like Charlie Morningstar. Like, that's what I would fucking recognize her for. And now I'm watching Sexual Education, which is cute. It's like a kid whose mom is a sex therapist, and because he's just absorbed like so much of that knowledge, he accidentally becomes like a sex therapist at his high school. And so it's really cute. It's really well done, of just like, sex positivity and teens in school and character stuff. And there was just a recent episode where like the girl who really likes writing alien smut is like, she's like trying to ditch her old identity, and so she's tearing all of the posters off her walls, except because they were cheap cheaters, all of the stuff on her wall was like bad AI stuff. And so they accidentally turned the scene into an extremely liberating tale of a young woman kicking her addiction to AI. Oh my god. And I'm so mad because I know how much art prints cost, and they saved at most $100. It was literally just like laziness, like pure, it would have taken a little bit of extra time to like go and find art pieces that match their theme, and they just couldn't fucking be bothered. So I would love to suggest the show, but I also kind of think maybe boycott it. But also, what good would that do?
Also, it's British.
And it does a lot of cool things. I like that we are in an age where we can have like so much queer media to choose from. Is really kind of as someone who has cried a lot over characters that were queer baiting becoming very like aggressively straight. It's kind of fantastic to see a character that just watch a show on a pirated site, exactly. God bless the creation of takeouts. Oh my god, right. Do not have to sit in the fucking crowded hellscape restaurant. When our flag means death, and I don't think this is spoilers per se, especially because it's been out for so long. They were very like, there was like a lot of like, romantic tension between these two main characters, and I'm so heteronormatively pilled I watch a lot of television, and so I did not think twice. I was like, haha, okay, very funny. Like, I just immediately assumed it was a joke, and it wasn't until this moment where they were like really obviously flirting, and the like other gay character looks at them and goes, oh my god, this is happening. That was the moment I was like, oh my god, this is happening. Oh my god, this is canon. This, like, fucking, the main characters being gay is canon. And the fact that I was, like, so deeply floored by that is, I think, just really, like, indicative of, like, how just fucking it just hasn't existed. It just hasn't been there. And yet, I mean, I really think Steven Universe and Owl House were huge, because the children television representation was a huge barrier. And I mean, not that they didn't have help getting there, but the way that they fought and were sneaky to get their shit in made an enormous difference for queer representation in other media. It's nice to finally have that. For all the faults of the 21st century, of this portion of it, we have queer characters, asexual characters, some trans characters sometimes, autistic characters that are sometimes written well, even. I'll fucking take it. I'm not happy with Netflix about most things, but I'll take it. Bill from The Last of Us, my goat. That is not my genre. I do not go there. I'm assuming representation, good representation. I also kind of liked the BoJack Horseman asexual character. I think that was fun. I have yet to see, I mean, I don't watch every show in existence. I mainly stick to comedy. I have yet to see the sex favorable asexual, which I understand. I understand if we don't get to that one for a while, because I think a lot of people would get confused. I think people need to understand and make peace with the no sex version before they can expand their knowledge outside of the umbrella. Yeah, overall it was subtle. I love that. I love that for them. Him, I don't know this character. Last of Us in general, I've only heard good things about. And I'm glad that, like, for as much as I know that the Zelda movie is going to be painful and how much I fucking despise the Mario films, I'm sorry, they're so sexist, and I hate Illumination Studios so fucking much, and fuck Chris Pratt. I really love that there's finally, I mean, mainly because of these, like, shows that are taking off a deeper appreciation for video games as an art form, because for gamers, we've known that for a fucking while. Like, hello, have you seen Detroit Become Human? It is 3 movies that are fucking interactive and have multiple endings and intricacies, and they're all different genres with different beautiful points to make. Like, are you kidding me? But no, because it's like, it gets sort of double dismissed, because not every video game fan is a huge, like, movie cinema nerd, and, like, cinema nerds aren't going to go and play Detroit Become Human. So I think it gets, I think it didn't get as much positive reception that I think it deserved, but it did get its fair amount, so I'll take it. Let's just say in the show, their partner dies, not in a good way. Oh, queer tragedy. I do know, like, even if Last of Us was my genre, I do think it is too sad for me. I have a limit to sadness in film and movie and fiction. It's got to be a hurt comfort. If there's no comfort, I do kind of like, wasn't that a thing in the 3rd Aliens movie that everyone fucking hated it because they, like, killed off every single character from the previous 2? That might have been the 4th one. Don't forget plot jewelry. Yes, hello. Like in the devlog for Start Again, a prologue where Hadrian says, I gave him an eye patch for capital R reasons. That's not where the bun goes. I finally get to have a loop with space buns. It's very satisfying. I fucking love space buns. Nope, that's not that. That ain't it. Nope, it needs to be more to the left. Ah. Yeah, I'm always taking suggestions for comedy shows. I'll take a raunchy one. I love really, like, character-driven shit, but once I'm done with the sexual education show, I'm going to be fucking bereft again, and I need background noise or I'll die. That's probably close enough, yep. And then they have the little miraculous ladybug hair pieces, and then a little boop of the hair being just a little bit too short to hold in this particular shape. Whoa. Don't know why the screen did that. Not a fan. Oh, I love every time I get to design a new Loop's little haircut. It's just that perfect level of, like, wavy, curly that you can really kind of go ham with it. I will fix that other arm. Let's give them the Y2K, the terrible Y2K outfit that they'll wear later. The one that's basically, God, we really did live like this, didn't we? In the fucking Paris Hilton era, where clothing was a suggestion and everything was a little bit like sparkly bondage. Oh God, I'm so angry that low-rise jeans came back, because teenagers they truly have no other choice but to follow fashion trends, or else risk ostracization, right? And when the fashion trends get, like, really sexist, it's just, like, so miserable to be like, I remember having to wear those fucking jeans that wouldn't, and just always having to be scared that your fucking ass crack was hanging out. Like, just having jeans that wouldn't stay on your fucking body, because frankly, that's all that was available in stores. But I get so upset when I see, like, teens in a grocery store and they're wearing, like, a crop top, because that's, the style, or was when I remember seeing this, and, like, anxiously covering their midsection because women aren't allowed to wear clothes. That's just something I've learned about the world. Women aren't allowed to wear clothes unless they're an animal, and then they're the only ones. They're mandatory clothing, and then all of the men are naked. Want me to recommend you a horrible comedy drama show? Yes. I love a dramedy. Those little fucking Daisy Dukes. With the fray, yeah. I love a slutty loop. It's just too fun. It's too fucking fun. I think it's fun to play with from a character perspective. Not only is it just something that I enjoy writing, but it's fun to play with from a character perspective and from an angst perspective, because you can always throw in angst for someone who sleeps around. Jack, you won! You're victorious! Oh my God, I'm so glad. Would you losing mean you just die like Elvis? That would make me so sad, genuinely. I wouldn't laugh at that. Oh, I can't do gore. I can do like comedy gore. Like, for some reason I could handle what was that Nick Holt Dracula film? I always forget. Renfield. For some reason I can do Renfield, because comedy gore is usually very fast and not detailed, but most gory injury stuff really fucks me up. Which means I can't watch Umbrella Academy, even though I know I would really like it. But if there's just like, I mean, death and injury on its own, I don't know. I'd probably have to take a look at it to know for sure. My friend would be like, oh, I really want to show you Midsommar, but I know there's gore, so I'm just going to skip over the gore parts. And then would like, I think she was subconsciously bullying me that she kept like accidentally, quote unquote, despite making time stamps, showing me the worst gory parts. And I'm like, I've actually literally never seen worse gore than in this movie, so thank you for this. And thank you, Ari Aster. That movie, there was this guy that she was friends with at the time that she showed that movie, and let's see, Twitch just gave me a warning for sending that message. I've won many battles against dairy, and it just happens I inherited lactose intolerance right as I turned 22. I fucking hate when it, like, the later in life thing when you're already fucking trained to eat a certain way. Yeah. Dairy turned on me in a less horrible way, but it does give me, like, really, like, give yourself throat cancer heartburn. Like, I have to be so careful. Oh, the loop? The loop smile in a hat? You got a warning for that? So from what I remember of Midsommar, it's like a woman who has like a very, very shitty boyfriend, and then like, and she's the main character, right? And like throughout the course of the movie, just like bad things keep happening to the boyfriend. That is my like as least spoilery as I can get for this thing. The friend who liked this movie had this like online friend who was like the most like autistic man who has never spoken to a woman and spends too much time on the internet, but like has not gone full incel type dude. But is maybe like one step away from has like shares the same opinions without like identifying with it just because of time spent in that space. I got auto modded for the word slutty. No, allow. Are you sure you want to say that? Because my message before that one contained the word slutty. I do need to fix my chat at some point once I figure out how to do that, because I do think I can put in like, I think I can change the settings and it keeps censoring like words like damn and ass for me. It censors LMAO. Like, okay. This guy watched Midsommar and just assumed, like, I can't remember exactly what his response is, but because he had spent so long in a world where the guy was always the main character, he just went into the movie with the assumption that the guy was the main character. And it was like, you know, oh, I hated that movie. Why do you hate that movie? Because it's just like an hour of a guy. I can't remember exactly what his reaction was, but the way that he said it was in a way that was just like fully, that guy was the main character. And I remember it being like such a thing that blew me away of like, even when it is this fucking blatant, you are just so like deeply programmed to a certain thing that you just completely, like, the whole movie went over your head. This is my first loop with boobs, but they are an A cup. They have a different origin story than the other loops. So things work a little differently for them. Anyway, Midsommar is the most good for her film. For as much as I hated seeing the gory parts, I appreciate being able to understand the cultural references now that I see them. Loobies. Yeah, loobies! This arm on the left is so awkward. It's like directly from I will change it later to not be what it is. Because what is that? It's nothing. Plot jewelry. I'll just do this for now. I was like, surely these little plastic chokers can't be hard to draw. No, it is the most complicated loop-de-loop fucking design. I'm just gonna have to have a photo and trace it every time. And then
Somewhere in this zone. Star necklace. Ah, I love character design.
I'll never do art fight, unfortunately. I just simply do not have the follow through. And then I know I would end up with like people would draw my thing and then I would fucking not draw anybody's thing and just feel like the world's biggest piece of shit. Plus all of my OCs are just loop.
Oh shit. It's like 15 minutes past the end of the stream and my tummy just grumbled. So I think I will call this a finished image. And I can clean it up later. But for now, I just got deeply into drawing my little fella. I just like a draw a loop. I like a draw a loop. For now, I think that's gonna do it for me, as I just want to keep drawing. This is the problem.
Bodily functions be damned. All right, that's it. I think that's it. Yeah, thank you for tuning in and listening to my rants. And I have no idea if that made for a good stream or not. I'm not used to this format. And we'll see how I improve as time goes. I am literally in streaming because I have, because it's fun. And I watch a lot of Let's Play people that I would love to get into the format. But I have some like comedy performances coming up at the end of the year, and I'm not doing improv anymore because it's just like too bodily taxing. And so I'm so rusty, and I desperately need to get back into the game vis-a-vis being just like entertaining without a script. And so this is me trying to re-enter the world of improv in some way, shape, or form. So like genuinely trying to create an entertaining product, and I hope that's what I did here today. At the very least, hopefully it will get better in the coming months. Thank you. Love the Marcille Hamtaro. I really love the Marcille Hamtaro. I'm kind of obsessed with it. Let's... Why is she so cute and perfect? What the fucky? Yeah, thank you so much for being here and going on this adventure for me. It's really lovely to see y'all in the chat, and it's really lovely I can't see if there are people not in the chat, but thank you for being here as well. You are also very important to me, and I appreciate all of you. Okay. Bye, y'all. Go drink water and take meds and have food and get rest. Mwah, I love you. Goodbye.